Leicester's mind-sweeping run goes on. Without dazzling, they've hit on the way to prosper. Dollops of strength and energy with a spoonful of speedy. Now what about this for a statistic? County were heading for a 58-year-old club record they didn't really want. 24 games without an away win. Ward in the Leicester goal helped to restore parity by taking Devlin's legs and offering Draper an unmolested sight of goal. But that record looked in danger when Lund sent McSwegan away before half-time, and there was nothing Whitlow or Ward could do to prevent Notts taking the lead. Now Leicester's recent form owes a lot to their set-piece prowess as well. Here was another example, handball by leg, if that's not a contradiction in terms, but deliberate, that's for sure. Thompson's in his element with these. And there the score seemed likely to stay until County forgot about Leicester's dead ball reputation. In it came from Thompson. Speedy poked it home with only seconds to go. Palace have a point more than Leicester from the same number of games, but they're doing it the pretty way. Stoke were frankly played off the park by the classiest side in the table. Southgate's too good a player to be gifted chances like that. The rest was down to Salako, once part of England's plans but crippled by injury for nearly a year. This was his first full appearance since then, and he toasted it with a hat-trick. As though protecting his precious legs, Salako scored the next two with his head. The second was a little embarrassing for Stoke. Too late for the cruncher in Rotterdam, but should England prevail against Holland, Graham Taylor at least has another arrow in his quiver. And here's another one. Mark Stein scores through thick and thin, which is the sign of a good striker, his 12th of the season. But could it be that relegation has done Palace a favour? Every sign that they might emerge even stronger and give South London what it's been looking for since Charlton were a force back in the 40s and 50s. Draw number 5 sent Terry Cooper into a rage. No desire to win, bring back the maximum wage, all that kind of stuff. Not so much that Borough went ahead, more that Birmingham eventually had 3 points in the bag and let 2 of them slip away. They'd done extremely well to upstage the side at the top of the league yesterday morning. Pesky Solido had a big hand in it, as you might expect. 2 goals for the busy little Canadian, who has a knack of creating a second chance for himself. Cooper happy at this stage, as well he might be. Here's what annoyed him, allowing Middlesbrough back into the game with a minute to go. Never mind the Coca-Cola Cup tie against Villa, he says it's the bread and butter of the league which really counts. Too right. Keane came up with a tension breaker at Molineux, brilliantly curled around the wall to deceive Salmon in goal, but it didn't stop Wolves supporters going round the bend because of yet another late disappointment. They'd started rounding on Graham Turner before Lieber nodded down for Chappell 2 minutes from time. The fragile nature of Forest's defence is perfectly captured in this sequence. Count how many men in red could have done something to stop Powell opening the scoring. I make it 8. Looked like a 4th successive defeat for the much-troubled Frank Clark until Stone produced this little gem in injury time. Doesn't disguise the fact, though, that Forest are 6 off the bottom. Anchored at the foot are Oxford United, who've certainly felt the effect of Brian Horton's departure. Nigel Jemson, once a favourite of Clough's, put the skids under them at the Manor Ground. Once more, though, a transformation at the death. 3 goals in 3 minutes. First, a penalty to United when Beecham was held. That's the cue for Magilton, the club captain, who's being sought by his old manager. Woe betide them if he goes to Main Road as well. And Grimsby were back in front within a minute. A couple of timely touches leaving Childs with an open goal. Only 4,000 turned up, but Ford at least gave them a glimmer of hope with a second equaliser when the ball was somehow kept in play. Peterborough were outclassed by the side which is one place below them near the bottom. Phil Gray scored his first goal since the £750,000 transfer from Luton. Poor old Bennett in goal for Peterborough was inspired and did everything he could to keep Sunderland at bay. Eventually, though, he was left helpless when Auer's drive took a nasty deflection. A fourth successive away defeat for United. And finally,
Roy McFarlane.